Hello, beautiful people. It's Brenda Douglas, aka Real Estate Diva. And listen, you have questions, so I have answers, right? In this podcast, I'm going to share 4 commonly asked questions that buyers have before purchasing a home, during purchasing a home, and after. These questions are specifically for regarding buying a home, right? So the first question is, why do I have to sign an agreement, right? Well, listen, the exclusive buyer and tenant representation agreement is a mandatory document. Your agent legally has to have you sign that document. Even if you sign that document for 24 hours, even if you decide not to sign the document, the agent still needs to write, client waives his right to sign this agreement. And I need to stand corrected, because when you choose not to sign this agreement, the exclusive buyer agreement stating that you will only work with this agent, right? Let me back up for a second. The LPG Our Association requires us to have ethics. And so we have to take these ethics classes like every 2 years. We have to take ethics classes and things of that nature, legislative. And there are mandatory classes for us, and one of them being ethics, right? To keep us all on the same page and to protect the industry, right? So this agreement, it states that you will work with this agent only. Now, and again, if you waive your right, then you waive your right, but you will not be considered a client. An agent is obligated to work in and negotiate in the best interest of his client. If you choose not to sign this agreement, then you become a customer by default, right? So again, your agent is required, upon the first time meeting you, they're required to get you to sign this agreement. And this, again, is to help the industry. It is, again, to keep everybody morally right or doing the right thing, and then ethics, right? So again, you can sign this agreement for 24 hours. You can waive your right, but then you have to understand that you default to a customer, and then that agent doesn't necessarily have to work in your interest, right? Because you're a customer and not a client. Either way, the agent is required to get you to sign this agreement by law. It is not by choice. It is not optional. They are legally required to get you to sign this agreement. Again, if you waive your right, that's fine. And also, if you want to do 24 hours, if you want to do for an hour, but that they have to have you sign that buyer agreement, exclusive buyer agreement. The next question is, why can't I work with more than one real estate agent? Why? Because the industry works very, very hard to protect consumers, but then also to keep agents morally and ethically, ethical practices, right, is what the industry works hard for across the board, right? So all of us agents, again, take a class. But if you're working with more than one agent, number one, you want to be loyal to one agent so that agent can understand who you are, you can understand who they are, and you guys can help reach your goals, okay? You cannot work with more than one agent because legally you're not able to. That's why you have to sign what we previously talked about, which is the exclusive buyer agent. In fact, if you have signed an agreement with another agent, you are not able to, or you should not be able to, or that agent should definitely not accept your business. And so that's why a lot of times agents will ask, well, are you working with another agent? Because or did you sign that agreement with another agent? That's more important question. Did you sign that agreement? Once you sign that agreement, then that agent is hands off with you. They're legally not obligated or not able to work with you, right? So to answer your question, can you work with more than one agent? No. Now, on the other hand, if you haven't signed an agreement anywhere, then yeah, it's up for grabs. But at the same time, that agent really shouldn't be showing you any homes without that agreement. They really shouldn't be. Why? Because you're not loyal to them. You're not locked in. And you can go between agents, which is what a lot of people do, right? You have no loyalty to them. And actually, if you sign an agreement, some people still are not loyal. But anyway, so to answer your question, if you sign that exclusive buyer agency agreement, then the answer is no, you cannot work with more than one agent at a time, okay? Okay, and let me move right along because I have a habit of chasing these rabbits, right? How much will it cost me to pay? How much do I have to pay a buyer's agent? The answer to that question is you do not pay the buyer's agent. What happens is the seller pays the buyer agent for bringing the buyer to the house. So you have other fees that you have to pay, but in terms of paying the salary of a buyer's agent, that is not that's not something that you do. Okay. And the last question for this episode is, where can I find a real estate agent? Well, let me tell you that there's so many different ways that you can find a real estate agent. A lot of real estate agents are on social media. So you can put in a real estate agent in whatever state you're in. So for me, real estate agent in Maryland. You can ask for referrals. You can, again, check all of the social medias, right? Especially YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. Agents are everywhere. Some agents have blogs. I have a blog. And I'm all over social media. Sometimes they have a handle, sometimes they don't. But you can Google. Google knows everything. So go ahead and Google real estate agent in Maryland or wherever state you're in. Again, you can ask for referrals from family and friends, from homeowners. Homeowners, that's a great source because they've had the experience, right? So they can speak to you about their personal experiences. But also know that personalities are different. So sometimes, even if they had not so pleasant experience, it doesn't mean that you'll have the same, right? So anyway, ask around. Agents are everywhere. You can also go to the National Association of Realtors. You can also go to what do we call it? The commission, the real estate commission in your state. You can go to the website and you can find a list of real estate agents. The last thing is you can go to, all of us belong to some type of association. So for me, and this is within your county. So for me, it's Prince George's County Association of Realtors. So I live in Prince George's County. I am licensed in that, I joined that association. So different associations will also have a list of agents, and they'll be able to refer as well. So the other thing you can do is you can ask associate or affiliate partners such as loan officers, or inspectors, home inspectors, appraisers. They will be in contact with real estate agents. Real estate agents are everywhere. Now, not all agents are created equal, but they're everywhere, and so you can find them. Listen, I hope that this has been really, really helpful to you. Don't forget to leave comments. And then also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Oh my goodness, it's too early. Like, share, and subscribe. And listen, whether you are buying or selling a home, keep your head up, your hopes high, and remember that it is not over until the keys are exchanged. Have a blessed day.